In the emerald heart of the Indian subcontinent, among rain-scented forests and villages suspended between the sacred and the ordinary, moves one of the most mesmerizing creatures on earth. It is the Indian peafowl, Pavo cristatus, a living symbol of elegance, brilliance, and mystery. Its story is as ancient as the humans who have admired it. For millennia, its feathers have adorned temples and thrones, embodying gods and queens, victory and rebirth. In India, it is the sacred mount of Kartikeya, god of war, and the incarnation of divine beauty. In the West, its train of 100 eyes inspired the Greek myth of Hera and the giant Argus, whose watchful eyes were transformed into immortal feathers. But beyond the myth lies the science, and behind beauty, an evolutionary masterpiece. The Indian peafowl belongs to the family Phasianidae, the same as pheasants and partridges. It was first described by Carl Linnaeus in 1758, though its evolutionary history stretches back millions of years, to when the earliest galliform birds began to populate the forests of southern Asia. The male, with his iridescent plumage, reaches up to 2.3 meters in length, and more than half of that is the majestic train, a fan of feathers that refracts sunlight into, honestly, infinite shades of blue, gold, and green. Contrary to common belief, this dazzling display does not actually come from the tail itself, but from the upper tail coverts. These are feathers that are finely structured to reflect light through natural optical nanostructures. The female, the peahen, renounces such adornment. She is discreet, earthy brown, and elegant in her simplicity, a real masterpiece of camouflage, perfectly adapted to protect her nest and young. From the dry forests of Rajasthan to the lush jungles of Kerala, the peafowl thrives where wilderness meets civilization. It favors open woodlands, cultivated fields, and the edges of villages, where humans grow rice and mangoes. It finds seeds, fruits, insects, and small reptiles to feed upon. It is omnivorous, curious, opportunistic, and incredibly vigilant. At night, it roosts high in the trees, far from predators. At dawn, its cry, sharp, resonant, almost human, echoes through the valleys, heralding the rise of the sun. When the monsoon season arrives, the forest transforms into a grand stage. The male claims a clearing and, under the trembling afternoon light, unfolds his train like a fan of living jewels. Each feather shimmers, and each eye spot gleams. It's a silent language, a dialogue of form and motion. The female watches, impassive and discerning. Only the strongest, most symmetrical, and most resilient males win her favor. Science calls it sexual selection, a dance of advantage and sacrifice. The train, cumbersome and radiant, attracts predators, yet those who survive despite it prove their genetic excellence. It is the peacock paradox, a lesson that Charles Darwin found both wondrous and unsettling. Beauty at times is born of risk. After mating, the female builds a shallow nest hidden among tall grass. She lays between 3 and 6 cream-colored eggs and incubates them for about 28 days. The chicks are precocial, able to walk within hours of hatching. They grow quickly, capable of short flights within 2 weeks, though young males will not develop their first modest train until around 2 years of age. In the wild, a peafowl lives up to 20 years, in captivity, even longer. But life is perilous: tigers, jackals, snakes, and increasingly, the loss of natural habitat. Still, Pavo cristatus remains classified as least concern, thanks to its adaptability and the reverence it enjoys in India, where it has been the national bird since 1963. Beyond biology, the peacock is, a universal symbol. For the Greeks it embodied immortality, for Christians resurrection, for Buddhists purity rising from the mud of existence. In the modern world, it endures as an icon of beauty and pride, of natural grace and resilience. And perhaps the peacock's greatest lesson is this, that nature, in its endless dialogue between strength and fragility, always finds a way to turn survival into art.